When people think of Paul, they think of bold missionary journeys and stirring sermons, but buried in his letters are truths so radical they still echo today. One lesson people often miss is how Paul ties freedom to service. In Galatians he says, "You were called to freedom, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love." He flips freedom on its head. True freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's being free enough to serve without chains of pride. Another overlooked truth is in Philippians, where Paul sits chained in prison yet writes, "Rejoice always." The lesson? Joy isn't tied to comfort. It's rooted in a mindset that sees purpose even behind bars. Then in 1 Corinthians, Paul tackles the thorny issue of eating meat sacrificed to idols. His point isn't about diet but conscience. All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. He teaches that mature faith isn't just about rights but about wisdom and love for weaker brothers. These hidden threads show that Paul's radical gospel reshapes our freedom, our joy, and our choices, not to make us proud, but to make us servants strong enough to lay down our rights for the sake of love. Paul's letters hide more gems for the modern believer. In Romans, he explains how suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope, a lesson so easily quoted but rarely lived until storms hit. In Ephesians, he paints the mystery of the church as Christ's body, but the real shock is how he urges unity among Jews and Gentiles, enemies by birth, now made family by grace. That lesson still shakes walls today. In 2 Timothy, old and nearing execution, Paul writes to his spiritual son about staying faithful when the world turns cold. Preach the word, in season and out of season. The final overlooked gem is in Philemon, a tiny letter where Paul pleads for a runaway slave, Onesimus, to be received as a brother, not property. It's a quiet, explosive lesson about how the gospel dissolves walls of status, race, and history. 7 lessons from Paul's pen: freedom through service, joy in chains, conscience over rights, hope through hardship, unity across enemies, faithfulness when alone, and radical equality in Christ. They still cut through culture today, reminding us that these ancient letters aren't dusty theology. They are blueprints for living like Christ in a world that still needs to see what true freedom really means.